Life in its most basic and unvarnished form is a series of arrivals and departures. From the moment we draw our first breath, we are thrust into a world defined by connection. We bond with parents, we build bridges with friends, we entwine our souls with romantic partners, and we anchor our identities to the people we choose to keep close. These connections are the marrow of the human experience. However, there is an undeniable, often painful truth that accompanies every bond we forge. People are transient. What happens when the anchor of a relationship becomes a weight that drags you beneath the waves? How do you manage the crushing emotional gravity when someone you once shared everything with no longer occupies a space in your life? Or perhaps more painfully, how do you handle the realization that you have invested your entire heart into someone who never intended to offer theirs in return? You may find yourself lying awake at night, staring at a silent phone, asking, how do I stop caring so much? How do I stop this person from having power over my peace of mind? You might fear that detaching means becoming a cold, unfeeling statue, a hollow shell of a human. This is where Stoicism, specifically the meditations of the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, provides a beacon of clarity. The Stoics were not men of stone. They were masters of the human heart. They understood that to live well, one must learn the art of emotional detachment, not as an act of coldness, but as an act of self-liberation. Emotional detachment, in the Stoic sense, is the process of reclaiming the power to act with clarity, dignity, and inner peace, regardless of what others do or say. In this deep exploration, we will dive into 5 timeless Stoic rules. These are not merely ancient theories. They are practical, brutal, and beautiful psychological tools designed to reshape your engagement with the world. By the end of this journey, you will understand that detaching from another is the first step toward reattaching to yourself. Rule 1. Embrace the law of universal impermanence. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth." When we are emotionally entangled with someone, we often mistake our narrative of them for the reality of them. We create a mental monument to a person, convinced that they are a permanent fixture in our universe. We treat our relationships as if they are made of stone, when in reality, they are made of mist. The first rule of Stoic detachment is to acknowledge that all things are on loan from the universe. Every friend, every lover, and every family member is a temporary guest. This isn't pessimism. It is a mathematical certainty. According to sociological data on relationship longevity, the average close friendship lasts about 7 years, and in the United States, roughly 40–50% of marriages end in divorce. Statistics show that the social circles of adults tend to shrink and shift every decade. Change is the only constant. The metaphor of the handful of sand. Imagine you are standing on a shoreline. You see a beautiful handful of sand and you want to keep it forever. If you squeeze your fist tight, trying to possess every grain, the pressure forces the sand out through your fingers. Before you know it, your hand is empty and cramped. But if you hold your hand open, the sand rests there peacefully. Our emotional attachments work the same way. The more we try to possess the presence of another, the more we suffocate the relationship and ourselves. Marcus Aurelius taught that we must accept the flow of the river. You cannot step into the same river twice, for the water is always moving, and you are always changing. A personal reflection on the 10-year fade. I recall a friendship that I believed was my forever bond. We had 10 years of history, thousands of hours of shared secrets and mutual support. But as we entered different phases of life, the interests that once bound us began to fray. I spent 2 years trying to fix it, grieving every time a text went unreturned or an invitation was declined. I was in agony because I was fighting a law of nature. I was clinging to a version of that person that no longer existed. When I applied the Stoic rule of impermanence, I realized that the friendship wasn't broken. It was simply finished. Accepting that a season had ended allowed me to stop viewing the distance as a personal failure and start seeing it as a natural transition. Marcus Aurelius would tell you, loss is nothing else but change, and change is nature's delight. Rule 2. Master the internal dialogue, the rational filter. There is a common misconception that our emotions are autonomous monsters that live inside us, striking whenever they please. You feel the sting of rejection, the heat of anger, or the hollow ache of loneliness, and you assume these are facts. Stoicism challenges this. Marcus Aurelius taught that your emotions are the children of your judgments. He famously said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this and you will find strength. The color of your thoughts. If you are emotionally attached to someone who is hurting you, your mind is likely colored by thoughts like, "I cannot be happy without them. They were my only chance at love. Their silence means I am worthless." These are not facts. These are interpretations. The Stoic rule for detachment is to strip away the labels we put on events. When someone stops calling you, the fact is, the phone did not ring. The judgment is, I am being abandoned. It is the judgment, not the silence, that causes the pain. The scientific reality of rumination. Psychological studies on affective forecasting show that humans are remarkably bad at predicting how long an emotional event will affect them. We tend to overestimate the duration and intensity of future pain. When we ruminate on someone, our brain's default mode network becomes hyperactive, replaying memories and projecting fears. Marcus Aurelius advised us to use rational thought as a scalpel. When an emotion flares up, ask yourself, what is the objective truth here? If a partner leaves you, the rational thought is, a person who does not want to be with me is no longer with me. This allows me to find someone who does, or to find peace in my own company. The unreturned text exercise. We have all felt that spike of anxiety when a message is left on read. Your heart rate increases. Your mind begins to spin a web of reasons why they are ignoring you. You are suffering. But what are the facts? Fact: the message was delivered. Fact: no response has been received. Anything else, the idea that they are mad, that they are with someone else, that they are bored of you, is a fiction created by your own mind. By detaching from the narrative and sticking to the facts, you pacify the emotional storm. You realize that your value as a human being is not tied to a digital notification. Rule 3. Practice premeditatio malorum, the power of the worst case. To the modern ear, negative visualization sounds like a recipe for depression. Why would anyone want to spend time imagining their life falling apart? However, Marcus Aurelius and the Stoics knew that anxiety thrives on the unexpected. When we are terrified of losing someone, it is because we have built a mental world where their absence is an impossible catastrophe. We live in a state of fragile hope. Negative visualization, or premeditatio malorum, is the practice of mentally rehearsing the loss before it happens. The vaccine for the soul. Think of this practice as an emotional vaccine. By exposing your mind to a small dose of the pain of loss in a controlled environment, you build the antibodies of resilience. Aurelius would begin his days by saying, "The people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly." He wasn't being a jerk. He was ensuring that when he encountered these people, he wouldn't be shocked or emotionally compromised. If you are struggling to detach from someone, try this. Sit in silence. Imagine that person is gone tomorrow. Imagine they have moved, or they have decided never to speak to you again. Visualize your morning without their text. Visualize your weekend without their company. At first, this will hurt, but as you continue the exercise, you will notice something miraculous. You are still there. In your imagination, you are still breathing. You are still eating. You are still capable of looking at the sunset. You realize that while their presence is a preference, it is not a necessity. Detaching from the illusion of permanence. In the United States, research on resilience factors shows that individuals who mentally prepare for life transitions, including the potential end of relationships, recover from grief significantly faster than those who cling to eternal fantasies. I once had a relationship where the fear of the end kept me in a state of constant low-level panic. I was a people pleaser because I was terrified of the void that would be left if she moved on. When I began practicing negative visualization, the fear lost its teeth. I accepted that the relationship could end. Ironically, this made me a better partner because I was no longer acting out of desperation. And when it eventually did end, I found that I had already done the heavy lifting of grief. I was ready to walk forward. Rule 4. Relocate your center of gravity, the circle of control. This is arguably the most famous pillar of Stoicism. At any given moment, the universe is divided into two categories. Things you control: your thoughts, your intentions, your effort, your reactions. Things you do not control: the weather, the economy, the past, and most importantly, the opinions and actions of other people. Emotional attachment is often an attempt to move your center of gravity into someone else's territory. When you say, "I'll be happy if they text me back," you are placing your emotional well-being in a zone where you have 0% control. You have essentially given a stranger a remote control to your heart and told them to press whichever buttons they like. The sovereignty of the self. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If you want to detach, you must move your center of gravity back to your own chest. You must realize that you are the only person responsible for your peace. Consider the friendship imbalance. Statistics suggest that in 50% of friendships, one person feels more attached than the other. If you are that person, you likely spend a vast amount of energy trying to bridge the gap. You analyze their body language, you craft the perfect messages, you try to be the person you think they want you to be. Stop. You cannot control if they value you. You cannot control if they find you interesting. You cannot control their capacity for intimacy. What you can control is how much time you spend thinking about them, whether you choose to invest your energy in people who do reciprocate, the standards you set for how you allow yourself to be treated. The impediment to action advances action. Aurelius famously noted, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." If someone's indifference is the obstacle in your life, don't try to move the obstacle. Use the obstacle as a signal to move in a different direction. Their rejection is the way toward your own self-discovery. Their distance is the way toward a more focused and productive life. When I stopped trying to control how my distant friends felt about me, I gained back roughly 10 hours a week of mental energy. I redirected that energy into my work, my physical health, and my own hobbies. I didn't stop loving them. I just stopped trying to govern them. The result was a sense of unshakable autonomy. My happiness was no longer a request I had to submit to someone else for approval. Rule 5. Zoom out. The view from above. When we are obsessed with someone, our vision becomes telescopic. We zoom in on one person until they fill our entire field of view. Their smile is the sun, their coldness is a total eclipse. We lose all sense of proportion. Marcus Aurelius practiced a technique called the view from above. He would mentally rise above his own body, then above the city of Rome, then above the empire, until he saw the entire earth as a tiny speck in the cosmos. The magnitude of time and space. From this height, the drama of a single relationship looks different. You see billions of people waking up, falling in love, arguing, parting ways, and eventually returning to the earth. You see that your current crisis, the fact that a specific person doesn't want to talk to you, is a microscopic event in the grand tapestry of human history. Ask yourself the 5-year question. Will this specific person's opinion of me matter in 5 years? Will I even remember the sting of this specific rejection in a decade? If the answer is no, then why are you giving it infinity-level importance right now? A reality check on human population. There are approximately 8 billion people on this planet. Statistically, there are millions of people who share your values, your humor, and your interests. When we refuse to detach from one person who is clearly not right for us, we are suffering from an illusion of scarcity. We act as if this person is the last source of water in a desert. The Stoic view from above reminds you that you are standing next to an ocean. By zooming out, you realize that your life is a vast narrative with many chapters. This person might have been a significant character in Chapter 4, but that doesn't mean they have a role in Chapter 5. I once stayed in a toxic cycle for 3 years because I thought that person was my soulmate. I had zoomed in so far that I couldn't see anything else. It wasn't until I took a trip to a different country and sat on a mountain that I realized how small that relationship actually was. I looked at the vastness of the world and felt embarrassed that I had let one person's moods dictate my entire existence. I saw that I was a tiny part of a massive, beautiful universe, and I had been wasting my short life crying over a ghost. The conclusion: the freedom of letting go. Emotional detachment is not a quick fix. It is not a pill you take to make the pain vanish instantly. It is a daily discipline of the mind. Marcus Aurelius didn't reach a state of inner peace because he was special. He reached it because he reminded himself of these rules every single morning and every single night. He understood that the human heart is a wild thing that needs the guidance of the rational mind. To detach is not to hate. It is not to forget. To detach is to accept. Accept that they are a free agent with their own path. Accept that you cannot force a heart to stay where it wants to leave. Accept that your worth is an inherent quality, not a social score. The statistics are clear. People who practice emotional self-regulation and maintain a strong sense of internal locus of control report higher levels of life satisfaction and lower levels of clinical depression. Stoicism isn't just vibes. It is a proven psychological framework for survival. As you move forward from this video, I want you to ask yourself one final question. Who is the master of my emotions? Me or them? If the answer is them, then it is time to take the remote control back. It is time to draw your boundaries. It is time to realize that you are a complete, whole and powerful being, whether they are in your life or not. Emotional freedom isn't found in being loved by everyone. It's found in being okay when you aren't. Reclaim your mind. Reclaim your peace. Reclaim your soul. If this resonated with you, please subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the wisdom of the ancients. Leave a comment below with a yes if you are ready to let go of what you cannot control. Stay still, stay wise, stay unbreakable.